Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is Retro Ramon speaking to the viewers out there. In today's video, I will be showing off my collection of Nintendo consoles, from the home consoles to the handheld consoles. It's been a while since I last made a video, which was back in November, because the last video I made was a Pac-Man gameplay video on the Namco Blast, and because of that it didn't have any good quality. And second, because I was procrastinating, that was the other reason why I hadn't been making videos lately. But I am here right now, doing another video for you guys. And before we get started, make sure to leave a like and smash that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. So now that we got everything out of the way, let's begin the video. The first console that I have out is a Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the NES. The release dates for this console in the regions was 1985 in North America, July 15th, 1983 in Japan, September 1st, 1986 in Europe, 1987 in the United Kingdom, Ireland, Italy, and Australia, 1989 in South Korea, and 1993 in Brazil and South Africa. It was discontinued in August 14th, 1995 in North America, Europe, Australia, and September 25th, 2003 in Japan. The NES lifespan was 1983 to 2003. The unit sold was 61.91 million in the actual price in the US. Back then was $179.99, which was about $180. In Japan, it was called the Family Computer, also known as the Famicom. Its best-selling game was Super Mario Bros., which sold more than 40 million copies worldwide, while the worst-selling game was Action 52 because it had extremely low productions quality, poor gameplay, and a controversial marketing campaign that led to very few copies actually being sold. But the game is also rare and can be found online with high prices. The first game that were released were 10-5 Baseball, Cuckoo Island.com, which came with the Nintendo Zapper, Excite-Bike, Golf, Gyromite, it's not just Gyromite, which came with a robotic operating buddy, also known as ROB, which actually means Rob, Hogan's Alley, Ice Climber, Kung Fu, Pinball, Stack Up, Super Mario Bros., Tennis, Wild Gunman, and Wrecking Crew. The last game for the NES was Wild Woods, which came out December 10th, 1994 in North America, and Disney The Lion King was the last licensed game to be released as a PAL exclusive on May 25th, 1995. The next console is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the SNES or Super NES. The release date for this console were November 21st, 1990 in Japan, August 23rd, 1991 in North America, April 11th, 1992 in the United Kingdom, Ireland, June 1992 in Europe, June 8th, 1992 in Chile, it's Chile. July 3rd, 1992 in Australia, August 30th, 1993 in Brazil, and November 15th, 1994 in Russia. It was discontinued in 1996 in Russia, 1998 in Europe, $19.99 in North America, 2003 in Brazil, April 1st, 2003 in South Korea, and September 25th, 2003 in Japan. Its lifespan was 1990 to 2003, and units sold were 49.10 million worldwide. The actual price in the US during that time was $199.99, which is $200. In Japan, it was called the Super Famicom. Super Mario World was #1 best-selling game, which it was sold over 20 million units worldwide. And the worst-selling game was Pit Fighter because of poor gameplay and reception. The first SNES games to be released were Super Mario World, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Gradius 3, and SimCity, while the last Super NES game was Kirby's Dream Land 3 on November 27, 1997 in North America, and Metal Slayer Glory Director's Cut on November 29, 2000, which was the last game Nintendo published. Next is the Nintendo 64, also known as the N64. The release date for this console were June 23, 1996 in Japan, September 29, 1996 in North America, and March 1st, 1997 in Europe and Australia. It was discontinued worldwide in April 30th, 2002. Its lifespan was 1996 to 2002, and the units sold worldwide was about 32.93 million. For the actual price in the US during that time was $200. It was also known as Project Reality Ultra 64 in Hyundai Comboy 64 back in South Korea. The best-selling game was Super Mario 64, which has sold 11.62 million copies. And the worst-selling game was Super Mario 64. The worst-selling game was Superman 64 because of poor gameplay, clunky controls, and overall lackluster experience. The first N64 games were Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wing 64. The last Nintendo 64 game was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which was released August 20th, 2002 in North America. Next is the Nintendo GameCube. The release date for this one are Japan on September 14th, 2001, in North America on November 18th, 2001, in Europe on May 3rd, 2002, and in Australia on May 17th, 2002. It was discontinued worldwide on 2007. Lifespan was 2001 to 2007, and units sold worldwide were 21.74 million. For the actual price in the US back then was the same price as the N64. It was also known as Dolphin before it was named the GameCube. The best-selling game was Super Smash Bros. Melee, which was sold 7.09 million copies, while the worst-selling game was Cubivore because of poor execution, repetitive gameplay, and lack of variety. The first GameCube games were Luigi's Mansion, Star Wars, Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2, All-Star Baseball 2002, NFL 2002, NHL Hits 2002, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Disney's Tarzan Untamed, Crazy Taxi, and Batman Vengeance. The last game to be released was NFL 08 in August 14, 2007 in North America. Next console that I have out is the Nintendo Wii. The release dates and regions for this are November 19, 2006 in North America, December 2nd, 2006 in Japan, December 7th, 2006 in Australia, December 8th, 2006 in Europe, April 26th, 2008 in South Korea, July 12th, 2008 in Taiwan, and December 2009 in Hong Kong. Hong Kong, it was discontinued in November 2011 in Australia, October 2013 in Japan, and October 24th, 2013 Europe. Lifespan was 2006 to 2013, and the units sold worldwide were 101.63 million as of September 30th, 2019. For the actual price in the US during that time was $250. It was also known as Revolution and RFL, and there were two revisions which were called the RVL. Oh wait, so that's 101 and the Wii Mini, but I'm not gonna talk about those. No, wait, it says it was also known. Oh yeah, it was also known as the RVL. Sorry, I just said the wrong thing. The Wii is also backward compatible for GameCube games. The best-selling games were Wii Sports, which sold 82.90 million copies for the pack-in, and Mario Kart Wii, which was sold about 37.32 million copies for the standalone. As of March 31st, 2020, the worst-selling game was Suhabon Shatsu Rina, which sold 100 copies. The first Wii games that got released were Wii Sports, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Link's Crossbow Training, Excite Truck, and WarioWare Smooth Moves. The last game to be released was Just Dance 2020 on November 5th, 2019 internationally. However, Retro City Rampage DX Plus and Shakedown Hawaii were the last two games to be released in Europe on July 9, 2020. Now that we're done with the home consoles, it's time to do the handhelds. The first handheld console I have out is the Game Boy Color. The release dates and regions for this handheld are October 21st, 1998 in Japan, November 18th, 1998 in North America, November 3rd, 1998 in Europe, and November 27th, 1998 in Australia. It was discontinued in March 31st, 2003. The lifespan was 1998 to 2003, and the units sold were 118.69 million copies. No, it's just no. Including all Game Boy variants. For the actual price in the US back then was $80. It was also known as CGB001, and it was backward compatible with Game Boy games. The best-selling games were Pokemon Gold and Silver, which they sold 23 million copies, and the worst-selling game was Pokemon Crystals, selling 6.39 million copies due to reduced interest in enhanced versions of Pokemon titles at the time. The first Game Boy Color game was The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX and Pokemon Trading Card Game. The last Game Boy Color game was Doraemon no Study Boy Kanji Yomi Kaki Master, which was released on Japan on July 18, 2003, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which was released on November 15, 2002 in North America. Next is the Nintendo 2DS, which was part of the 3DS family. Release date were October 12, 2013 in North America. Europe, Australia, December 7, 2013 in South Korea, and February 27, 2016 in Japan. It was discontinued in 2019 in Japan. In 2020, worldwide units sold were 14.43 million worldwide if we are counting the new 2DS XL. And lifespan was 2013 to 2020. For the actual price in the US during that time was $130, and it was backwards compatible with Nintendo DS and DSi games. The best-selling game was Mario Kart 7, which sold 18.99 million units worldwide, and the worst-selling game was Mario & Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey due to very poor initial sales. The first 3DS games were Kid Icarus Uprising, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater 3D, Assassin's Creed Lost Legacy, Resident Evil Revelations, Super Street Fighter 4, it's 4. 4 3D Edition, Mario Kart 7, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Star Fox 64 3D, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, and Super Mario 3D Land. The last 3DS game was Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth, which was released November 29, 2018 in Japan, and June 4th, 2019 worldwide. This is the Nintendo Switch Lite, which was part of the Nintendo Switch family. Release date was September 20th, 2019 worldwide. Lifespan for the Nintendo Switch, including the other models like the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED, was 2017. To present, in the units sold for the Switch family was 150.86 million as of December 1st, 2024. For the actual price for the Nintendo Switch Lite in the US is $200. It was also known as NXHAC in Odin. The best-selling game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold 67.35 million copies. The first Switch games that were released is 1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman R, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The new Switch game that came out is Shield Wall, which was released on February 8th, 2025. Last is the Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda Game & Watches. The Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch was released November 13th, 2020, and The Legend of Zelda Game & Watch was released on November 12th, 2021. Both of them each cost $50. The Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch has the original Super Mario Bros. Game, Super Mario Bros. 2, also known as the Lost Levels, and a Super Mario version of the classic Game & Watch game Ball. While the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch includes the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, Link's Awakening, and a Legend of Zelda version of the Game & Watch game Vermin. And I guess that's all the consoles and handhelds I've already gone through already. And that is it for today's video. I hope you viewers had a good time watching it. And before I say adios, I just want to tell you guys something. If we can get up to 100 subscribers, that would really make my day. And it'd be super cool. And that's it. This is Retro Ramon signing off, telling you goodbye. And see you real soon.